Module 4, Idea Generation and Assessment. More and more organisations today find themselves having to find and exploit new ideas and opportunities in order to respond to growing competitive pressure and to changes in customers' needs. Thus, virtually all innovation processes include the creation or identification of opportunities, idea generation, also known as ideation, and the selection of one or more of the most promising directions, idea assessment and selection. When a consumer goods firm develops a new product, it typically considers many alternative concepts before selecting the few it will develop further, generating the raw ideas that feed subsequent development processes, thus plays a critical role in innovation. To improve innovation, executives need to view the process of transforming ideas into commercial outputs as an integrated flow. The first of the three phases in the chain is to generate ideas. This can happen inside a unit, across units in a company, or outside the firm. The second phase is to convert ideas, or more specifically, assess and select ideas for funding, and later on develop them into products and practices. The third is to diffuse those products and practices. Executives understand that innovation starts with good ideas, but where do these concepts come from? Managers naturally look first inside their own functional groups or business units for creative sparks. They usually find they have a pretty good sense of what's close at hand. The bigger sparks they discover are ignited when fragments of ideas come together, specifically when individuals across units engage in brainstorming, defined as creative thinking technique involving the identification of as many different ideas as possible during a certain time frame. Or when companies tap external partners, customers, end users, competitors, universities, independent entrepreneurs, investors, inventors, scientists and suppliers for ideas. It's not all about how wonderful a certain new product or service is. What matters is, will customers buy it? In order to assess the practicality of turning an idea into a product or service which customers will buy, a number of key domains have to be scrutinised, namely target market, competitive advantage, relevant laws and regulations, adopted business model, intellectual property protection strategy, marketing strategy, and financial and investment requirements. There are quite a few contributions that underline the importance of considering innovation as an open process that must involve many players within or outside the same business ecosystem. The concept of players in the innovation process is important and interesting because it reinterprets a social company role that is not always made clear in an organisation chart or in a specific organisational role. Unlike the traditional stage gate selection process, the social approach to involvement and to the realisation of ideas and improvements of projects is based on the activation of three different communities. He who brings or generates ideas, known as the explorer, he who carries them out, the exploiter, and he who has the task of selecting and assessing them, the decision maker. A typical innovation process in terms of idea generation and assessment will therefore have the following structure. Phase 1, setting of objectives and scenario. Phase 2, generation of ideas. And Phase 3, idea assessment and selection. When company management cannot succeed in opening the process of idea generation and innovation in general, companies usually experience a shortage of good new ideas. Research indicates that this is often due to inadequate networks. Managers fail to forge quality links with others outside their company, or people prefer to talk to their immediate colleagues rather than reach out to counterparts in other departments or divisions. These companies need to build external networks to generate ideas from new connections. There are two fundamentally different approaches to building external networks. Develop a solution network geared toward finding answers to specific problems, or build a discovery network geared toward unearthing new ideas within broad technology or product domains. A complementary approach to generating new ideas from outside companies is to build internal cross-unit networks within organisations. After all, employees who don't know one another can't collaborate on new ideas, and the occasional cross-functional brainstorming session won't do the trick. It unfairly assumes that people who are unfamiliar with one another will be able to work together to generate ideas on demand. What's needed is an ongoing dialogue and knowledge exchange between people from different units.